Listen to the sentences. Complete them with the words you hear.
Hi, John. Good to see you. What have you been up to lately?
Not too much. I've been taking it easy.
Very good. Glad to hear you haven't been working hard.
Thanks, Sarah.
And how is your sister? I haven't seen her for a long time.
She is doing great. She is traveling because she is on holiday now.
How long has she been on holiday?
It's been a few weeks.
So, what cities has she been to so far?
She's been to Istanbul, Athens, and Budapest.
What a great way to spend the holidays. I'm glad to hear that she is enjoying herself.
Listen to the sentences and fill in the blanks with the words you hear. How to become a quick learner. Some people believe that humans have a fixed capacity to learn. However, psychologists and educators have recently come to think otherwise. The idea that human intelligence is expandable has been proven by scientists. We now know that people can actually improve their learning ability. Quick learners have certain learning skills which are basic for anyone to master with practice. Some tips and ways to increase your learning ability will be mentioned in this talk. First of all, it is very beneficial to scan first when reading new unknown material. Then skim headlines and any available summaries. Previewing the material before reading is very helpful to determine the subject that you are going to read. Secondly, memory-enhancing techniques make new information more memorable by transforming it into formulations. For instance, you can associate a term you need to remember with a common item that you are very familiar with. These techniques are also called mnemonics. The best mnemonics are those that utilize positive imagery, humor, or novelty. Mnemonics are considered effective ways of improving memory. Thirdly, organizing information increases your capacity, since information is stored in memory in related clusters. Try grouping similar concepts and terms together, or make an outline of your notes and textbook readings to help group related concepts. Also, do not try to learn all of the information at once. Try to learn over a period of time rather than at one single moment. Last but not least, making mistakes is normal for all humans. So make it safe to make mistakes and write down your mistakes and what you learned from them. You may use them whenever you encounter a similar situation. Learning from others' mistakes is another way to improve your learning. Finally, everybody has his or her own learning style. You should find out what type of learning is the best way to learn new concepts for you. Try some self-analysis. Make a list of all the things you do to learn something. Then use this list to create the learning environment best for you. If you find out your learning style, you can be a quicker learner and more productive. Use the word given at the end of each line to form a word that fits in the gap in the same line. Then listen to the passage and check your answers.
Developments in technology have changed our lives. Researchers have discovered that, with the introduction of computers and cell phones, people have started to have weaker relationships. This is a very important issue to think about. At the very least, we must find a reasonable explanation for this. Otherwise, we will begin to see more problems related to technology in the future.
Listen to the story and fill in the blanks with the words you hear. My first trip to Ukraine. Visiting another country is always exciting, but it is really hard to explain your feelings about your first time there. It's more than excitement. I actually felt nervous on my first flight to Lviv in April 2012 because it was my first trip to Ukraine. I was flying to a country where I didn't know the culture or people. Their language was also a problem for me. I didn't even have any idea about their alphabet. However, when my plane landed at the Lviv International Airport, I felt relaxed thanks to the nice spring weather. The first city I visited in Ukraine was Lviv. Lviv is a wonderful city, with old and beautiful buildings like Lviv Opera House, Lubomirsky Palace, and the Ossolineum. The streets smelled of history while I was walking among those magnificent buildings. It was just 2 months before the European Cup, so you could see the preparations everywhere in the city centre, which made the city more lively. A few days after my arrival in Lviv, I went to Ternopil, which is a smaller city close to Lviv. Ternopil is not as historical as Lviv, but it has its own beauty. There was a big lake in the middle of the city. I loved sitting at Lovers' Island, which is a peaceful meeting point for Ukrainian lovers. As I liked this beautiful country so much, I decided to go there again in November 2012. This time, after visiting Lviv and Ternopil, I decided to see Kremenets, a very important historical town. I loved this town because it was like I was living in history. You can see that the town lies perfectly between 2 mountains when you go up the castle on the top of the mountain. Listen to the dialogues and complete them with the words you hear.
1. Did Jamie wake you up?
No, not at all. I wasn't sleeping.
2. Your son has improved his cello playing.
Yes, I think so, because he's been practicing so much lately.
3. Why are you so out of breath?
Because I have been chasing the school bus for 20 minutes.
4. Did Marcus resign from the company in the end?
He had been thinking of doing it for a long time, but then he decided not to.
5. Amelia was online last night. I saw her when I was on the internet.
Yes, she was chatting online with me.
6. Why is your street such a mess?
The council have been digging up the streets for a natural gas pipeline, but it should be finished at the end of this month.
7. Are you really jealous of my friend?
No, but you have been seeing them more than me recently. Listen to each sentence and complete the sentence using the word given so that it has a similar meaning to the sentence you hear.
1. It is Carla's duty to do homework every day.
2. I wasn't feeling very well when they came.
3. There is no way to persuade him to give up smoking.
4. Insomnia has seriously affected his job performance.
5. I quickly looked at the questions as soon as the teacher gave me the exam paper.
6. Explaining the whole procedure takes hours.
7. You will be able to see him tomorrow.
Listen to the sentences. Choose the expected response, A or B.
1. What are your plans for the summer?
2. Can you help me to do my homework, please?
3. Why are you leaving the class early?
4. Oh no, my computer doesn't work.
5. Why did you want the broom?
Listen to the passage and fill in the blanks with the words you hear. Be careful with the tense usage.
Can biofuels replace fossil fuels? Biofuels are alternative energy sources produced from plants like corn, sugarcane, or other crops. It is clear that biofuels, which are used to meet our energy needs, will become major contributors to the energy supply in the modern world. But there has recently been a debate over their benefits. The question is, will they help us overcome the disadvantages of fossil fuels? First, ethanol is a fuel made of plants, which can reduce pollution in cities because it produces fewer emissions than fossil fuels. This means they are cleaner than gasoline and friendlier to the environment. This fact supports the idea that biofuels should be used more to replace fossil fuels and to reduce the pollution caused by fossil fuels. However, this does not mean that they will not contribute to the air pollution in cities, because ethanol is less efficient than gasoline. Less energy is produced by ethanol than would be produced by the same amount of gasoline. To be more precise, if you are using biofuels instead of fossil fuels, you burn more fuel to travel the same distance. Next, biofuels are renewable fuels, and they will not run out like fossil fuels. We can always grow plants as long as there is enough agricultural land. However, growing more plants for biofuels is a controversial issue because vast amounts of land and water are needed to produce oil. If we consider the land availability for the production of biofuels, we can see that we do not have enough agricultural land as they are being used to meet the demand for food. Biofuel production has also raised food prices. This has encouraged researchers to develop new technologies to reduce the effect biofuel industries have on food production and their costs.
Listen to the dialogues and fill in the blanks with the words you hear.
1. Where are you now, Jason?
I'm just about to go home.
2. You are not to tell anyone about this. Can you keep a secret?
Of course I can.
3. Have you talked to your manager about your salary?
I'm on the verge of asking for a pay rise.
4. Why are you tidying up your desk?
Because I'm about to leave the office.
5. What time are your guests due to arrive tomorrow?
Around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. 6. Hi, Jill. How is work going?
Well, the manager is on the point of deciding whether to close the company.
Listen to the short paragraph and fill in the blanks with words you hear. Photography is one of my favorite activities. My friends and I sometimes make arrangements for a trip to the mountains, but we don't always stick to a timetable. We sometimes go to a small village to take photos of the inhabitants. They are always friendly and want to take photos with us. Listen to the conversation and complete the sentences with the words you hear.
Hey, Carl. How are you doing?
Not so good, Kate. My car doesn't start. I think its engine is broken.
Really? Is there something we can do? I think you should call the mechanic.
You're right. I have a friend who is a mechanic. I'd better have him repair my car.
Are you talking about John? Isn't he the one whose dog was hit by a truck last week?
Yeah, that was a terrible accident.
What happened to the dog?
Well, it was taken to the vet immediately after the accident. It is fine now.
That's good. Let's call him and get him to fix the car.
Listen to the passage and fill in the blanks with the words you hear.
Generating electricity at home. The recent increase in oil prices and the dangers of global warming have made the use of renewable energy sources essential in today's world. Renewable energy systems are being used in many countries to produce cleaner and cheaper energy. When we learn that renewable energy sources are becoming more and more popular nowadays, one question comes to our minds. What can be done to generate our own electricity at home? Generating energy is no longer as hard as you think, because using natural energy sources is becoming more and more common, and the price of the equipment needed to set up these systems is decreasing. It is now possible to generate our own electricity with the help of solar panels and wind turbines. The first step to generating electricity is to decide what electricity generation system will be used. The two most common renewable energy systems used to produce electricity at home are solar electric systems and wind electric systems.
Listen to the sentences and complete each second sentence using a phrasal verb so that it has a similar meaning to the first sentence you hear.
1. I didn't understand the instructions.
2. Elena always fails to keep up with her friends in exams.
3. We should meet again as soon as possible.
4. He should have considered it more carefully before getting divorced.
5. Jamie has to postpone the holiday until next month.
6. She is very good at handling her children. Listen to each sentence and complete each second sentence using one of the two words in bold. Add any other words you need so that it has a similar meaning to the first sentence.
1. I wanted to make pancakes, but there wasn't enough butter.
2. Sally has 6 children, and some of them have brown hair.
3. I have a lot of work to do this weekend.
4. There were a lot of people in the audience at the theatre.
5. Plenty of books have been sold in 2 months.
6. David ate a lot of chocolate and he got sick.
7. I have received a lot of phone calls, so I can't hear well now.
8. We shouldn't waste too much water while brushing our teeth.
9. We needed to clean the television because there was too much dust on it.
10. There wasn't enough sugar in my tea. It was really bitter. Listen to the story. Fill in the blanks with the words you hear. The emigration. The coach was full of people, sadness and frustration. Every passenger in the coach knew that the journey could end with death. Some of them were sleeping and some of them were talking with each other. In this crowd there was a couple, a beautiful girl and a handsome guy. They had married before the war started. They were sitting hand in hand when they heard a sudden noise. It was an explosion. They knew this sound very well. They tried to run away, but the doors were locked. All of them tried to open them again and again, but they couldn't. Some of the passengers couldn't breathe because the air got hotter and hotter, and there was little fresh air. Listen to the story and write the words you hear.
I had a strange experience yesterday. I was sitting at a cafe. From my table, I could hear that a married couple was having an argument. They were talking about their marriage. The woman said that the man had always been impolite and never bought flowers for her. The man said that the woman was so jealous and thought that her husband might have a relationship with one of his colleagues. I think it was a stupid argument and made both of them unhappy.
Listen to the dialogues. Complete them with the words you hear.
1. I can't believe that I bought the wrong book.
Don't worry. I wouldn't have been able to buy the correct book if I were you.
2. My sister made me wait in front of the theater for 2 hours.
You must have been angry at her.
3. The lights in Michael's room were off last night.
He must not have been home last night.
4. I can't see Sarah in the classroom. Do you know where she is?
She was ill in the morning. She may have gone home.
5. Do you know what that noise is?
I don't know. It may be a car coming towards us.
6. We've been waiting for an hour. Do you know what time he will come?
He should have landed by now, so he'll be here in about an hour.
7. The weather got very cold.
Yes, I think it might snow tonight.
8. My brother said that John is at the graduation party now.
He can't be there now. He went to his hometown yesterday.
9. I had to work all day.
You must be very tired. You need to rest for a while.
10. Sue didn't say hello to me this morning.
She can't have seen you. Complete the sentence so that it has a similar meaning to the sentence you hear. Don't change the word given. You must use between 3 and 8 words, including the word given.
1. His first exam result was much higher than his last.
2. The Citroën C5 is slightly more comfortable than the Peugeot 508.
3. If you do the exercises faster, you can go home earlier.
4. Don is much more obsessed with computer games than Stefan seems to be.
5. Greece is much smaller than Turkey.
6. Our new house is 2 times the size of his.
7. Bigger cities have higher crime rates.
8. Adriana is quite a bit smarter than her brother Brad. Listen to each sentence and complete each second sentence using the word given so that it has a similar meaning to the first sentence.
1. Fred isn't usually late.
2. Don't worry about your midterm exam result. Focus on studying for the final exam.
3. I can't remember who you said had been killed.
4. She used to play the piano very well.
5. Was the party fun?
6. Sue and John said they were sorry that they couldn't come to my wedding ceremony.
7. I can't understand how she got that job.
8. I'm sure you will do well in the presentation tomorrow. Complete the sentences with the words you hear.
1. If you can't find your car, give us a call and we'll come to pick you up.
2. If there weren't a government, the crime rate would be extremely high.
3. If you forget to bring your book to class, the teacher will punish you.
4. If you help me with the dishes, I will help you with your homework.
5. If we don't finish the work immediately, we may lose lots of money.
6. If you didn't get up early every day, you wouldn't be very successful, would you?
7. If she goes home late, her parents get angry.
8. If there are 100 people in this room, we wouldn't even be able to breathe.
9. If you stay in Turkey longer, you'll have enough time to see a few sights.
10. If cities continue to expand, more forests will be destroyed. Listen to the text and complete it with the words you hear. Living a healthy life. Every one of us wants to be fit, healthy, and live a long, active life. It is a well-known fact that if you want to be healthy, your physical and mental health must be in balance or functioning well together. The key to healthy living is making small changes in your life, such as sleeping enough, eating a healthy diet, drinking enough water, doing exercise, and so on. If you follow the steps that follow, you will have a healthier life. First of all, the average sleep requirement for adults is 8 hours a day. You need to get enough sleep every day. If you sleep less than 8 hours, you will feel tired during the day and won't be able to concentrate on your work. Secondly, it is advisable to drink a glass of water after you wake up in the morning. Drinking water in the morning helps you clear your system and flush out the toxins in your body. It is also believed by some scientists that if you drink enough water every day, it will help you lose weight. Thirdly, eating a proper breakfast is one of the most positive things you can do if you want to lose weight and have a healthy life. If you skip breakfast, you tend to gain weight. It is very important to know what to eat at breakfast as well. A good healthy breakfast includes fresh fruit or fruit juice, a breakfast cereal, low-fat milk or yogurt, a boiled egg, and so on. You should also keep in mind that eating a healthy diet is an essential part of a healthy lifestyle. If you eat food which consists of healthy carbohydrates and fiber sources, especially whole grains, for long-lasting energy, it will help you prevent coronary heart disease, certain cancers, and diabetes. People who eat more whole grains tend to have a healthier heart. It is also necessary to limit sugar and salt if you want to have a healthier life. Finally, everyone knows that smoking is one of the main enemies of a healthy life. If you smoke, quit the habit as early as you can. Of course, it is not easy to give up smoking, but you can get help and support from your doctor, family, friends, and co-workers to succeed. Some people think that they will gain weight if they quit smoking. That isn't true. It won't make you gain weight in the long term. Some people gain 4 or 5 pounds after quitting, but that is only temporary. Use the word given in brackets in the correct word formation. Then listen to the passage and check your answers.
Recovering from surgery. Recovering from surgery is greatly dependent upon the type of the operation you have had. However, it is beneficial to move around as soon as possible after surgery and follow your doctor's advice on getting active again. It will make your blood flow and will build up strength in your muscles. You should also eat more healthily, start exercising, and stop smoking if you smoke.
Listen to the sentences. Write a word or short phrase in each gap so that the sentence has a similar meaning to the sentence you hear.
1. I would prefer if you worked at a bigger company rather than in this small office.
2. I'd prefer us to buy a new house rather than invest in a new business.
3. I don't think Ashley would prefer to live in a small village.
4. We'd prefer our new employees to be experienced in this field.
5. I would have preferred you to tell me the truth about my illness.
6. Would you prefer me to bring all the documents tomorrow?
7. We would have preferred you not to have left your parents when they needed your help.
8. I'd prefer them not to be involved in my business.
9. I'd prefer you not to talk to anyone about my secret.
10. My parents said they'd prefer me to be living in my hometown. Listen to the sentences. Circle the words you hear.
1. Excuse me. I wish to see the manager of the company.
2. Do you ever wish that you could fly a plane?
3. When I was a child, I always wished that I was older.
4. I hope you can find a better job soon.
5. My cousin has a very nice motorcycle. I wish I had one too.
6. I don't know how to use a computer. I wish I had learnt it when I was at school.
7. If only I was going on holiday with you this summer.
8. Robert wishes he had more money so that he could buy a new phone.
9. Do you wish you were running the company you are working at?
10. I wish you would study harder. You can't be successful unless you take it seriously. Write one down in each gap. Then listen to the text and check your answers. I was at the grocery store yesterday and I found a $100 bill on the floor. At first, I thought that I had to hand it in, but then I picked it up and pocketed it and went home. My wife told me later on that I basically stole the money and I should have told the store manager about it. I felt embarrassed and began to worry about the person who dropped it. Then I took the money to the grocery store and told the manager that I had found it on the ground. First, he took a note on his notebook. Then he told me that $100 had been missing from the cash box and they had punished the cashier. I shouldn't have taken that money. It was my fault, and I thought I couldn't get away with this. I promised to help the cashier do her work all day. I said that I wouldn't back down until she forgave me. Listen to the sentences. Then complete the sentences with appropriate words, including the word given.
1. I have warned him several times, but he still doesn't do his homework.
2. Jessica couldn't cook oven roast chicken, despite trying hard.
3. In spite of losing so much time, I thought that I could complete my essay.
4. Although we tried hard, we couldn't surpass their achievements.
5. Despite having studied for weeks, she couldn't pass the exam.
Listen to the sentences and complete each sentence using the word given so that it has a similar meaning to the sentence you hear. Write between 2 and 5 words in each gap.
1. The quiz show starts at 8 o'clock.
2. Bella had a quick glance at the book I wrote.
3. My latest article was published 2 months ago.
4. His lies don't fool us.
5. That information about the economy isn't true, is it?
6. You don't need to mention that at the moment.
7. This broadcast didn't really explore the results of global warming.
Complete the passage by writing one word in the blanks. Then listen and compare your answers with the words you hear.
The head of the department has sent an email to all students announcing that there will be a student meeting on Friday. It is likely to be good news. I heard from one of the professors that the university wants to build a new building for our department. The professor told me not to tell this to anyone else because the university hasn't decided yet. He said he had only been informed about the decision yesterday. I was so excited about the news that I didn't know what to say.
Complete the sentence so that it has a similar meaning to the sentence you hear. Use the words given.
1. If I had needed something, I would have let you know.
2. It is not possible to find a plane ticket on the last day.
3. The money is not refunded under any circumstances.
4. I had to see a doctor before I could have a long trip.
5. If you feel hungry, just call the room service and order something.
6. I was told about the new procedure by Jim. Listen to the sentences and rewrite them starting with the words given.
1. Our teacher didn't come to class this morning.
2. Seeing my parents after a long time made me feel happy.
3. Carol found out that there were lots of people ready to help her.
4. I will never forget the day that my daughter was born.
5. There were many tourists where we went last summer.
6. Finding a good job after graduation was the only thing Michael wanted.
7. Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone.
8. Stephen is going to join a charity organisation to help people who suffer from war. First, fill in the blanks with an appropriate word. Then, listen to the text and check your answers. When I was at high school, I always wanted to compete for a sports team. I was free to choose which type of sports to play, so I preferred to play soccer. At first, I found it very difficult to play soccer, but then I concentrated on practicing to be a better player. Finally, I became such a good soccer player that the coach asked me to play for the school team. Since then, I have been involved in many competitions. Listen to the conversation and write the words you hear. Be careful with the gerund and infinitive forms.
Hi, Daniel? Jessica speaking. How are you?
Hi, Jessica. Not bad. Is there a problem?
I needed to talk to someone. I was reluctant to call you. Do you have time?
Yeah, of course. What's the matter?
It's about my fiancé. We were talking about the wedding ceremony. He suggested we choose an indoor hall, but we had already decided to rent a yacht. He tried to persuade me. I didn't agree with him, and he refused to talk to me anymore.
Wow. What happened then? Did you talk again?
No. He said that we should postpone getting married and went away. I am afraid to lose him. Can you help me, please? I think you will succeed in persuading him.
I'm sorry to hear that. I will advise him to call you, Jessica.
Thank you so much, Daniel.
Listen to the sentences. Then complete each sentence so that it has a similar meaning to the first sentence. Use the word given.
1. I was very upset when they told me that he had passed away.
2. Samantha tried, but she couldn't learn French at the language school.
3. The meeting had not yet started. We got there in time.
4. He had dreamt about living in London in his bed before he slept.
5. He wished that they would accept him into the community.
6. He was so strong that he lifted 150 kilograms.
7. The old man begged to stay and play with his grandson.
8. Buying new clothes for him this winter is necessary.
9. He was really eager to join our project.
10. The exam was too difficult and I failed. Listen to the cake recipe and complete the sentences with the words you hear.
Break the eggs in a wide pot and add the sugar. Whisk them with a blender for 1 minute. Then add milk, oil, and flour and stir them with a spoon. Grate the carrot in another pot and mix it with cinnamon. Chop the dried fruit into small pieces and boil them. After boiling, add them to the dough you have prepared. Then, pour the mixture into a cake mold. Set the oven to 200 degrees Celsius. Your cake will be ready to eat after baking it for 20 minutes. Enjoy your delicious cake.
Listen to the dialogues and complete them with the correct forms of the words you hear.
1. Rice with apricots is really creative, I think.
I think it's disgusting.
2. His face showed a mixture of fear and excitement.
He's probably surprised.
3. The kitchen was such a mess. Beverage containers were on the bench, and the tables were dirty.
Have you discussed it thoroughly with her?
4. Homegrown vegetables and fruits are always the best because they are safe.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
5. Excuse me, where can I put my valuables?
You can put them in the hotel safe, madame. Listen to the conversation, then fill in the blanks according to the sentences you hear.
Hi, Daniel. Mona speaking. How is it going?
Hi, Mona. Not bad. Are you okay?
Yes, I was curious about your job search.
Well, I have had some interviews this week.
Really? I'm really curious now. How did they go?
Actually, I'm not sure. I had an interview with a company last week. It didn't go well, but yesterday I had an interview with a small firm. I'm thinking about their offer now.
How nice. Will you have decided by tomorrow?
I'm not sure. I received a call from them this morning. They wanted to meet me again, and I will have another interview tomorrow. Then I will decide exactly.
If so, I will call you again the day after tomorrow.
Okay. See you. Listen to the passage and complete it with the words you hear. Rectifying letter. Hi, everybody. I need to explain my quotes, which were written in a magazine last week. There were some misunderstandings. First, The reporter asked me whether I was happy being a celebrity, and I answered yes, but sometimes I get bored with the intense interest of my fans. But I didn't mean all my fans. Some of them are being obtrusive. Then, the reporter asked me if I had been married when I was 14. I explained that I was against child marriage and it had been a fault of my family, but they didn't place my answer in the magazine. She asked me how I found my new album. I confessed that it might have been better, but I would do my best for next one. I'm sorry for the last interview, and I hope I stated myself better by this way. Listen to each sentence and complete the sentence using the word given so that it has a similar meaning to the first sentence.
1. He couldn't afford a car because he had a lot of debt.
2. I'm going to buy what I need for the wedding.
3. Not many students want this kind of homework.
4. She succeeded thanks to her friends, her teachers, and finally, but most importantly, her family.
5. I had to pay some money before registration.
6. Did you gain any money from this project?
7. Elena can't buy a house if she keeps buying expensive clothes all the time.
8. I don't want to owe anybody anything.
9. Inflation went up 5% last year.
10. He stole a lot of money from the bank.